When you need to build up your team to handle the growing chaos at work, use Indeed Sponsored Jobs. It gives your job post the boost it needs to be seen and helps reach people with the right skills, certifications, and more. Spend less time searching and more time actually interviewing candidates who check all your boxes. Listeners of this show will get a $75 sponsored job credit at Indeed.com/podcast. That's Indeed.com/podcast. Terms and conditions apply. Need a hiring hero? This is a job for Indeed Sponsored Jobs.
What if I told you you only have 12 hours to legally have sex?
To finding true love, or just like a good guy.
From the director of Easy A and Anyone But You.
This whole thing is nuts.
There's nothing traditional about this night.
On August 7th, the clock starts on the summer's biggest rom-com.
I'm Owen.
Allie.
What about you and me?
Monica Barbaro, Callum Turner.
I've been told I'm a 7.
By who? Your mom?
Nah, she thinks I'm a 10.
One night only. Rated R. Only in theaters August 7th.
Gracie Abrams, Daughter from Hell. Let's talk about it. How y'all doing? Welcome to Let's Talk About It Music Reviews Season 12. How y'all doing? Welcome to the show. Guys, we got a pretty good episode for you today. I know it's been a while. It's been a long time. You might be saying, man, you haven't talked about a pop song in for fucking ever. And I know. It's been quite a bit. We've been having some, talking about rap music, and rap music. And I've been having a good time with that. But I always have to go back to my roots. Always have to go back to what we are known for. What we are known for covering on this show is some of the most popular pop music out there. Now, I don't know if Gracie Abrams is like the most popular out there, but her song was on the front page of the new YouTube Music Friday page, and that's a pretty good sign of what you're going to be getting. Now, this is, an album that I definitely heard about. I saw the rollout for on Twitter. I knew this was going to drop. I saw some TikToks about it, when I was scrolling on my TikTok page or whatever. I've seen some stuff about this album. So, I always said I was going to check out a couple of tracks, maybe one or two. I'm not going to be doing an album review. I don't have that much interest of checking out this album, but I'll check out a couple of songs and we'll see how it goes. We got this song from Gracie Abrams, Daughter from Hell. Honestly, guys, my overall opinion about this artist is that I kind of enjoy her music. I remember when there was this Spotify, I was trying to do some new stuff, and it was like a Spotify music front page, and there was a song with featuring Gracie Abrams, and I remember I checked that out on this show, and I had a really good time listening to it. I think Gracie Abrams killed it. I think the song that I checked out, they killed it, so I had a pretty good time. So already my opinion of her is pretty good, and I'm pretty excited to check out this song. Now, this is the genre of music that I don't typically fuck with. I will be honest with you. And what do I mean by that? Well, usually these kind of slow acoustic guitar, kind of slow build-up songs, they're not really my style. They're not really the music that I kind of check out on my own. And sometimes these tracks can be good when the build-up is worth it. If the build-up is not worth it, if the beat drops and I'm a little bit disappointed or I wanted a little bit more, and that's usually what happens with these kind of, slow, acoustic, instrumental builds up. There is some pop vocals, but, it's this, slow electric guitar, which I do like. I do like how it's not the basic acoustic guitar buildup that I'm usually used to hearing. This has some cool electric guitar, and it does have some little mini guitar switch-ups, a little bit of some key shifts, some key notes, so it doesn't feel like a same loopy guitar, which I can say is a pretty good thing. But my thing about this is that I wish there was some bigger switch-ups, maybe the guitar picks up a little bit, maybe the guitar goes crazy. I don't know if Gracie Abrams wants to make rock music, maybe that's not the vibe she's going for, but I will say, these kind of slow acoustic guitar, rock song build-ups, they have a problem where, you're just kind of wanting more. And these songs are very slow to get into, which, in my perspective, I don't really like. I like when songs kind of get in there with the action, immediately start going. I immediately want the guitar switch-ups. I immediately want the vocal switch-ups. I immediately want something to really hook me in when I'm listening to the song. If you can't do that, then I'm going to have some problems here. Now, my only real complaint is the instrumental. because, it takes until like 4 minutes for the instrumental to finally open up. The guitar picks up, the drums pick up. You're like, okay, here we go. Here's the instrumental. But the build up to this and then the drop is just kind of like leaving me wanting more. Kind of disappoints me. It kind of makes me go, man, I wish there was just a tad bit more. I wish the drop felt like a drop. I wish the guitar came blaring in. I wish the drums came fucking crazy. And like, this like half-baked, like, I'm halfway into this sound, but I'm halfway into this sound. When you do this half and half stuff and you don't go full in, this is the problem that you run into. You run into the guitar not really feeling that much alive. You run into the problem where, 4 minutes in when the song finally drops, it's, it's like over. And, it just kind of like blows my mind how, you're listening to the song, you're like, man, this needs a little something more. Like, because, like, for example, like, if I'm listening to a song and you're like, okay, this is good, this is a good flow state, I'm like, okay, this sounds nice, but we're 3 minutes in. At the 2-minute mark, I would already be like, all right, we need to pick something up here, and we need to switch this up, we need to add something here, we need to, have some vocal switch-ups, we need to keep the song sounding fresh. 2 minutes in, I'm already thinking that. But, I will say, for 3 or 4 minutes in, and then now we decide to switch things up, but the switch-ups aren't very compelling. The switch-ups are not very different from the song. It's just kind of a continuation of what we've heard. Then, the song gets kind of boring, in my opinion. The song just doesn't really hit the same, and you're just kind of left sitting there like, man, I just wish there was a tad bit more. I wish there was something that really hooked me in, because that's what this, instrumental is kind of missing, and that's the big problem, again, with these slow acoustic guitar instrumentals, and I do like how, it's acoustic and electric guitar. That's good, but...
This summer, say I do.
I am marrying a stranger.
Like never before.
Am I crazy?
It's a whole new Married at First Sight on Peacock.
Thank God I woke up in love.
With new experts.
My name is Dr. Lisa.
My name is Paul Brunson.
More couples.
This could be the start of a very successful marriage.
And more surprises.
Or maybe not.
Everything is just not enough.
You're a little bit crazy.
I don't know what's gonna happen. I want my fairy tale ending.
Married at First Sight, now streaming. New episodes Thursdays, only on Peacock.
If you're a QuickBooks customer looking to grow without the growing pains, you need the Intuit ERP, the AI native ERP that upgrades right from QuickBooks. Learn more at intuit.com/ERP.
Like, if you're having the electric guitar, do a powerful drop. I'm just saying, don't be scared. Don't be scared to do a powerful drop. Don't be scared to, really go crazy on it, because I think that's going to be the best part of the song. Now, I do like the beginning verse from Gracie Abrams. I do think the singing vocals are pretty good on here, and that's like, my thing about it. The singing vocals are really good. It is a little bit of a slow flow. I wish there was some flow switches on here to make the song, flow a little bit better as you're listening to it. But I'd say Gracie Abrams has some pretty good singing on here, not so bad at all. I really like, the hook. I think I like that moment where she's holding out her vocals. She's sounding really fire. And I do like the overall vocal performance from Gracie Abrams, and that ending, too. That ending kind of reminded me a little bit of, like, Olivia Rodrigo. The way she kind of, like, the way Olivia Rodrigo sings, she'll kind of, like, deepen her vocal. She'll kind of, do this kind of, like, holding out note thing that she does, which sounds really fire with certain words. I do like how Gracie Abrams incorporated that, too. It sounds pretty fire. This song is not bad. But that's all I can say. When we talk about Gracie Abrams' Daughter from Hell, this song is not bad. But it's also something that, it's a problem where I'm like, okay, this is not bad, but I wish there was just a little bit more. And that's my, problem with a lot of pop music these days. I'm always hearing these half in. Like, my recent complaint, has been Charlie XCX, like with pop music. I mean, like, there's some songs where she goes fully in. You're like, okay, this sounds actually really good. But then there's some other singles where I'm like, what the fuck is going on here? You know what I'm saying? This song's kind of half good, but kind of half whatever. So, overall, we talk about this song, Gracie Abrams' Daughter from Hell. I like the instrumental. I just wish there was a little bit more to this instrumental, and I wish the drop, when the drop finally does happen, sounded a little bit better. Gracie Abrams' vocals were not bad at all. Honestly, some of the best parts were her singing. Just wish there was a little bit more to this song. It's kind of whatever. But overall, I'll give it a 5 out of 10. 5 out of 10, guys. What y'all think about it? Did you love it? Did you hate it? I don't know. Let me know. We're on YouTube, Spotify, Pandora, wherever you get your podcast at. Make sure you follow, turn on notifications, guys. We're dropping new content every single day. And, before I go, we talked about this last episode. I want to bring this back for a part 2 because this keeps coming up every time. Guys, I recently did a K-pop song review. It's been a while since I talked about K-pop. I mean, it's been quite a while. We don't talk about K-pop that much unless, some good shit comes out, some big shit comes out. But I decided, hey, Girl Set came out. The last song I checked out from Girl Set was really good. This is a little new K-pop group that sounds pretty fire. So I checked out this song named Chat. And it was horrible. It was slop. It was another slop, cat's eye K-pop song. And, I feel like I'm losing my mind here because today I just get this comment. Don't review K-pop no more. By the way, dude, if you don't like reviewing K-pop, heart emoji. And I just want to preface this because, it blows my mind of how I have to keep saying this every single review I do. Guys, I like pop music. I like K-pop music. I like rap music. I like R&B. Shit. I like country music when it's done right, when it's done good. Fuck, I like rock music when it's actually done right and done good. So, honestly, I'm a guy who likes all of these type of genres. You know what I don't like, though? Lazy, cat's eye, K-pop, brain rot, slot music. That's what I don't like. Because I'm not a piggy that's fucking shoveling down the slop. Oh, the same generic EDM beats? Oh, let me just shovel that down. The same generic talking verses that are disguised as rap verses when they're absolutely not rap verses. Yeah, let me shovel that shit down. Oh, these hooks that sound ass and just repeat the same words over and over and over again. Yeah, let me shovel that slop down. That is something that I don't like. That's something that I don't enjoy. That's something that I will never, ever, in my whole 6 years of going to be doing this, gonna fucking defend. Alright? No matter what I check out, if it's a good song or a bad song, I'm gonna say if it's a good song or a bad song. I'm not gonna sit around and try to soften the blow for y'all. I'm not gonna soften the fucking blow about, your sloppy, piggy brain rot music. Just because I like these genres doesn't mean I like the lazy shit, that I like the shit that sounds ass. And that's something that blows my mind. People go you're weird. You're weird because you're covering K-pop that you don't like. You shouldn't talk about K-pop you dislike. You shouldn't review K-pop anymore. What the fuck? Why would I stop? Did I stop when, in 2020, when all the rap music that was coming out was just the same piano trap beat loops that just were making me lose my mind? No, I stayed with it, and I stay critiquing it, and I stay going, this needs to change. This shit sounds ass, and this shit needs to change. It's happening to the same thing with K-pop. K-pop is going through this, shitty brain rot, TikTok brain slop phase. And I'm not going to stop covering it. I'm not going to take my gas off the pedal just because you don't want to admit it. Just because you can't handle that your shitty brain rot slot music sounds terrible. It's not my fault. You are letting these companies, letting these K-pop groups, mind your mind, make you believe this shit sounds fire because, it's got some high-ass drums. It's got some high-ass fucking shitty-ass EDM bass. It's not my fault you can't accept that. It's not my fault that just because you actually don't like the music, you like looking at the shitty, sloppy-ass visuals. And that's honestly the thing about this new K-pop, phase. Visuals over the song. Visuals over the song. That's kind of all it is. So, I always get these comments, like, you're just doing this for hate. You're just doing this for hate. Guys, I wouldn't be hating if the songs were actually put some effort into them and they actually sounded good. To this day, I still get comments about the BTS coverage. Hundreds of comments still to this day. About the BTS coverage. People saying I'm wrong about that. No, I'm not wrong about that. Because there's examples of BTS making good music. What they made in 2026 was not good music. That shit was ass. Like, just because you like one catchy song called Swim, even though, honestly, that's a generic-ass song. The only good thing about Swim is the hook. Yeah. That's the only good thing about Swim. This shit is generic. This shit is ass. And you can't convince me that album sounds anything good. I was expecting a good project. I was going into there hoping for a good album. I was excited. Y'all remember, I was excited for the BTS album. I was like, holy shit, they're back. They actually dropped a full-ass hour-long album. This could be a movie. This could be cinema. This could make my night really fire. I could find some good songs to listen to over the week.
If you've ever blasted synth beats from your boombox or burned CDs for your besties, this one's for you. As people get older, much like their music tastes, their health needs change. AG1 is the simple daily health drink designed to deliver over 75 essential daily nutrients and pre- and probiotics to support energy, digestion, and mood, so you can make the most out of every decade and dance break. Learn more at drinkag1.com.
And then I checked out the album, and that ruined my whole entire week. It's not my fault that K-pop is going, even the good ones, even the originators, BTS, are going downhill. Blackpink, going downhill. I don't know what the fuck Blackpink is doing. Twice, I think the only group that I was like, okay, this group's doing some good stuff was Twice, because they were dropping these cool, like, R&B tracks, and, it was pretty fire, in my opinion. But every other group that I've checked out in 2026, 2025, this happened in the beginning of 2024, but it wasn't that bad. But then, 2025, 2026, I've just listened to slop after slop, copy after copy of Cat's Eye. And Cat's Eye is not a good group to copy. I don't know why people keep copying Cat's Eye, because Cat's Eye makes shitty-ass music. They are the originators of brain rot slop. So you're copying shitty slop music. In return, you're making even shittier music than Cat's Eye. And that is something that you cannot do, guys. I do not want to be praising Cat's Eye. When they finally drop their little album, when they finally start dropping music again, I don't want to praise Cat's Eye for making this shitty brain rot slop music. But it's going to happen because, like, Cat's Eye is going to do it well. And that's the difference between Cat's Eye and every other single K-pop group. They're the originators of this shitty sound, so they're going to do it right. And that's the scary thing. And in return, they're going to give motivation and shitty-ass, shitty-ass inspiration to these other K-pop groups to keep doing this shit sound. And y'all keep saying, like, the K-pop genre is, like, bigger than ever. It's gonna go downhill. Give this sound, this, like, shitty brain rot sound, like a few more years, and people are gonna get tired of this shit. Because, like, when you're listening to music that doesn't sound like music, when I'm listening to music that puts no effort into the music, just the visuals, eventually you're going to get tired of streaming this music. Eventually you're going to be fucking losing your goddamn mind. So, keep commenting. Keep telling me that I'm wrong. Keep telling me I shouldn't, review the music that I dislike, guys. If I like a song, I'm going to tell you if I like a song. If I dislike a song, I will tell you I dislike a song. I will never lie to y'all. I will never, sit up here and, go, oh, should I, for my, podcast, for my podcast brand, should I say, this song's great, this deserves a 9 out of 10, blah, blah, blah. No, I'm not doing that. I'm going to keep it real with you no matter what, because I don't give a shit what anyone says. I can review what I want. I don't give a fuck. We review rap on here. We review K-pop. We review pop. We even do country music when all the country music drops for, later down the year. We do it all on this show. So I don't give a shit what anyone says. We do it all on this show. We don't just review K-pop music. So get the fucking line, because we review all types of genres. And I will continue to cover this shitty-ass K-pop era, and I will continue to criticize it. I will continue to shit on it until we get some better-ass music. Until then, hey, you want to keep dropping shit music, I'm going to keep reviewing it and shitting on it. That's just what's going to happen. So, anyways, thank you all so much for listening to this podcast episode. I'll see y'all later. You have a good one. Yeah, guys. Bye.